Ha! Welcome back to the episode of the Ministry of Truth. I promise I am not drunk. Hello, Harper and Lady Ghost Hunter. Glad to see you guys, and fuck your feelings as well. Anyway, got a little bit, not really that much to go over with. For those of you who didn't know, Alex Rosen decided he wanted to do an interview with the Hodge twins. And yes, this one's been waiting for like 2 weeks, I believe. And guess what? It has come out as of 2 hours ago, but I was in Nashville, so couldn't really come in and do that one live. But here we are, live and in studio. And here we go with the Hodge twins and Alex Big Dick Rosen. Big Jew Rosen?
Welcome to episode 24. We got Alex Rosen from Predator Poachers on.
It's surreal to be here. Been watching you guys since high school when I was 16 years old with a full hairline and no beard. So it's a pleasure being here, y'all. Thank you.
So you be taking pedophiles off the street. How did you get into that?
Well, so we have a group called Predator Poachers. We catch online child predators across the country, and we've been doing this for 5 years. I'm 24 now. I started doing this when I was 19, and we have arrests in 46 different states.
So what's the process when you arrest somebody? You gather evidence, and then would you take that to the police department?
Yeah, we try to get their confession on camera, and we try to get them to confess to wanting to have sex with the kid and some other stuff too. And we feel that we've got sufficient evidence on them. That's when we call the cops. We turn it over, and we hope for the best. And a lot of times it goes great. So
have you caught many women?
We caught 2 females. So they're tough online when they're by themselves. So we've come across a few female child porn traders.
They're smarter, right?
Very smart.
Have you gotten any violent altercations when you approach these people?
Yeah, there's been. So he pulls out a gun, and I'm like, oh my God. So we just start bolting down the street.
What do you think's gonna happen in this next election?
I'm not voting in this election.
Please vote. Please. Do like for a black guy.
I will vote for Trump if you guys supply me with N-word passes for life.
Oh, hell yeah.
N-word passes for life.
All right, I'll vote for Trump. I'll show proof.
You can start right now.
You can say nigga for life now.
Yeah, welcome to episode 24. We got Alex Rosen, the pedophile hunter. Hey, he's taking these pedophiles and he's taking them out. He's taking them to jail. Yeah, before we get to Alex, talk to y'all about our sponsor. Optima Human, over 90 ingredients, is good for everything. It's an all-in-one nutritional supplement. It tastes great, too. It's good for your elbows, your butthole, your neck, eyes, your chest, your eyelashes, your nuts, your ears. It's good for your veins. Yeah, go to optimalhuman.com/Hodge Twins. Yeah.
The Hodge twins are great.
Yeah, welcome to episode 24. We got Alex Rosen from Predator Poachers on. How you doing, my friend?
Great. Thanks for having me on. It's surreal to be here. Been watching you guys since high school when I was 16 years old with a full hairline and no beard. So it's a pleasure being here, y'all. Thank you.
8 years ago.
Thanks for coming. All right, so you be taking pedophiles off the street. How did you get into that?
Well, so we have a group called Predator Poachers. We catch online child predators across the country, and the way we do that is we typically pose as a minor online or some other means too, but typically it's by posing as a minor. And we've been doing this for 5 years. I'm 24 now, started doing this when I was 19, and we have arrests in 46 different states, including here in Nevada, and convictions in 40, including here in Nevada as well. And the way we started doing this is when I was 19 years old. I've always wanted to be a police officer, but where I'm from in Houston, Texas, you can't be a cop till you're 21. You got to be 21 to graduate the academy.
Like
at least that was the standards 5 years ago. And, I saw these videos online. I've always seen Chris Hansen around on YouTube or whatever, but, seeing regular, like what seems to be regular people doing this, like, shorts, t-shirt, flip-flops, whatever, just sticking a phone in someone's face saying, oh my God, you're here to meet a kid. I was like, wow, is it this common? Is this, of course, 19-year-old me, wanted to get a thrill, catch the bad guys, do all that stuff. So I was like, how hard can it be? And I made a fake profile of a 15-year-old boy on Grindr, and 30 minutes later, somebody wanted to go meet this assumed 15-year-old boy for sex. And then from there, it just kind of started taking off. Like, first year and a half, we started just doing this in Houston all the time. And then we start traveling the country, racking up arrests nationwide. And now I'd say we have close to 300 arrests and probably 100-something convictions. So
what's the process when you arrest somebody? You gather evidence, and then would you take that to the police department, the local police department?
Yeah, so I mean, there's some factors that depend on whether we call them to the spot or take it to the PD. But in most places, we call them to the spot, and you know, our goal,
like Chris Hansen,
right. Yeah, okay. But you know, unfortunately, we don't have $600 million like NBC did to just have the cops be there, so we got to call them. But yeah, we try to get their confession on camera, and we try to get them to confess to wanting to have sex with the kid and to some other stuff too. And we feel that we've got sufficient evidence on them. That's when we call the cops. We turn it over, and we hope for the best. And a lot of times it goes great. So
cool. All right, so there's a bunch of social apps you jump on, right?
Yeah.
Pretend to be like a little boy or girl. What's the best ones for this?
Oh, man. Well,
I would think little boys.
Well, it's really just, there's just so many of them that we just get hits no matter who we're posing as.
Wow.
So, I mean, yeah, per capita, it's boy on boy more, but I mean, there's no shortage of any of them. Like, I mean, our 11-year-old girl decoy has just, I mean, one time I counted the amount of messages we had in one day, like the first 12 hours of the day, and it was like 20 different people just on one account hitting us up. And that's just what we can manage, you know what I mean? And we have multiple decoys, so we're talking to over 100 people at any given time. But I'd say the best app, well, the best or worst app, depending on how you look at it, is, I don't know, just ones that we all know. So whatever you're thinking, it's probably correct. It's nothing special. So.
Right. Oh, wow. Right. So you're not like using MySpace?
No. But
because I'm married, I don't know. I don't have any. I know about eHarmony.com.
Yeah.
I know about Tinder. Yeah.
Farmers only.
Yeah, we don't use any of we're more on platforms rather than dating apps, because we used to be on dating apps all the time, like Grindr and all that stuff. But we realized with dating apps, it's more of like the opportunistic ones versus on platforms. There's whole communities of these pedos that are all in group chats together, all sharing stuff. And those are the ones like targeting kids. So, on a dating app, maybe 3 out of 10 bite, and then 1 out of 10 ends up being super interested. The other 2 kind of drop off. But when we're on platforms, it's like every single one. They message us knowing we're underage. We still tell them, but they know that they're looking for kids. It's all they're following. That's what they've been doing their whole life, and those are the quote unquote real bad guys. So.
When you're talking to these pedos, do y'all share photos?
Yeah, so we have this app. There's an app called Face App, which can make even us look like kids if we really wanted it to. And that's
it make you look like a kid.
Yes, make me look like a kid. So that really helps us out a lot. And then, my decoys, I mean, they're in their 20s, but they look super young still. So, I mean, they pull it off on the video call pretty well. And it's guys too. I mean, they're not the smartest when it comes to sexual, So
they think it with the wrong head.
They're thinking with the wrong head, exactly. So we were able to pull it off pretty well.
Yeah. Have you gotten any violent altercations when you approach these people? Or?
Yeah, there's been. So last month in Massachusetts, we had a guy named John Rector who tried to meet our 11-year-old decoy 4 separate times, and we finally were able to meet up with him. And he talked to me for like 5 minutes. He's like, okay, I knew she was 11. I just messed up. Typically we're talking to them for an hour, 2 hours, but he's like, the conversation is done. And I'm like, John, I just want to, come on, let's just talk about it, man. Yeah. And he starts going to his car, and I'm like, John, are you going to reach for something? And he doesn't answer me. And this dude had like a beard that it was just a full chin strap, like going down like this. So that dude was probably a psycho. Like it wasn't like a regular one. So
right, he's probably got an AK in his car.
Exactly. Yeah. So I ask him again, are you going to reach for something? He doesn't answer me, and I'm like, oh shit. Then he opens his door, and then he reaches into the the side thingy on the door, and then he pulls out a gun, and I'm like, oh my God. So we just start bolting down the street, and we end up splitting up, me and the 2 camera guys, and he still keeps chasing us, but we're able to outrun him. I mean, even I was able to outrun him. Like he was in pretty bad shape. So but yeah, he was a psycho. So I find this apartment. This is in Massachusetts. If you've been to the Northeast, all the apartments are locked. Like it isn't. You can't just walk in like in the South. Right. So I had to get like some like kid who's just playing outside. I'm like, bro, open this door for me. And he opens the door for me, and I go up to the 4th floor just to hide. And then he calls me. John calls me on the phone, and he's like, where are you? And I'm like, I just hang up on him.
The pedo?
Yes. And I was like, holy shit. It was like I was in the Scream movie, dude. But then the cops came and apprehended him, and he's facing a shit ton of felonies for that. But that was pretty worrisome. But as for
Did she piss?
did I piss? No. No. But
You saw it was him when he was calling, right?
say again.
When he called you, you saw it was him, right?
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
you're
yeah.
like, I'm gonna go ahead and answer this.
Yeah. Because I wanted to, dude. I was very curious what he was going to say because I was thinking in the back of my mind maybe he was going to be like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, but no, man, this dude is out for blood.
So he was like, where are you?
Yeah, like where are you? It's like, holy shit.
Man, that is hilarious. I mean, if I was in the shoes, I would have taken off running and I wouldn't talk. He's trying to catch more charges.
Yeah. I mean,
That dude was a psycho.
dude, massive psycho. So I'm glad. I'm glad that was the case. And in Massachusetts we can't carry because I mean we take care of ourselves in the legal states, but we're law abiding, so we're defenseless, man. It sucks.
Yeah, you can't even get it. Can you have you tried to get a CCW in those states or?
You don't live there.
I mean, we could, but I mean, it's just not really practical to take the time to get a CCW in every single state. That doesn't allow. Like, it's time consuming.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, I bet. Yeah, man. Where are you? I will find you, and when I do, I will kill you.
Yeah, dude.
Just like in Taken.
Yeah, just to see it me like sweating on the 4th floor. Hello. Yeah, dude. He was he was
you know what?
nuts.
That just points out how stupid gun laws are. They make it impossible for us to protect ourselves, but it allows criminals to still carry their guns.
I'm trying to tell, dude. Yeah, I've seen, dude. Like, I've always been like, I'm conservative, whatever. When I was like at school and all that stuff, but traveling the country really cemented that. Like when you see 49 states, including Hawaii, everywhere except for Alaska, we've been. And shit, we even have 2 arrests in Hawaii, but. You really see firsthand that, thinking on the right side of things is actually correct because, we were thinking that after, like we were, because we don't have all right wingers that follow us, probably like y'all do. It's pretty, I mean, it's mostly right wing, but it's pretty diverse too. So we try to explain to the leftists that follow us, like, look, this is a real life situation of gun laws not working because John was not carrying that gun legally either. He had it illegally. And of course he did. He's trying to fuck a kid. But like,
he needs a gun to fuck a kid.
Yeah.
And Democrats don't understand that.
No. And then also with public housing, we've been to so many public housing
Democrats,
complexes.
it's okay to fuck a kid, but you can't own a gun. That makes a lot of sense, right?
These people, they're always so much nicer than what somebody making like $50K a year can get in any big city. Like, and it really, and none of these people have jobs. Like, we catch people with jobs, but the people in public housing, they're not working jobs, or they're working some part-time bullshit. So it really goes to show you, like, when you don't work and there's an incentive to not work, it's a real thing. Like, you're seeing this shit firsthand across the country. So
it's real.
Yeah.
It dehumanizes you.
Yeah.
It makes you don't want to work. Don't make you feel like you have the capacity to work.
Right. Like it's the solution to homelessness. It's
give them a bunch of money.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Let's pay for the housing.
Yeah. I mean,
want something to eat? We'll feed you. You want some pussy too?
Hey, bro. Money for sure fixes bad habits, as we've seen, right? But yeah, it's been quite an experience doing this in many different ways. That's for sure.
Have you caught many women?
We've caught a few. So last year, we caught 2 females. So they're tough online when they're by themselves. So we've come across a few female child porn traders.
They're smarter, right?
Very smart. So they're asking our decoys. So we can get away with not sending nudes to pedo. The guy's like, well, I'm not sending you a nude, but I can video call you to prove I'm real. And they're like, fine. But with the females, dude, they're not falling for any of that stuff. They're because cops can't send a nude. If it's a setup, they can't send a nude. And if we want our stuff to be prosecuted, we can't send a nude either. And I'm not going to have
it's entrapment, right?
They would call it that, yeah. And I'm not going to have any of my decoys take a nude photo and send it to some pedos.
So that's entrapment if you send a nude photo and pretend to be a Lemuel. If he comes, that's entrapping him.
Yeah, that's what they would say in court, unfortunately. But yeah, so I mean, we've tried everything with the female ones by themselves, but if we don't send that nude in 2 seconds, they block. But we've caught females in the context of they're acting with their husbands. So we had a couple last year.
There it is.
Rachel and William Burns in University City, Missouri. Right now, they're facing federal charges for 16,000 images of child but they came
God.
so very, very evil couple. Like Rachel has skirted around justice so many times. Like she's married two other pedos that have both went to jail for being pedos, and she's just avoiding charges each time herself. So what happened is William and Rachel are both talking to my 11-year-old decoy. William sends Rachel 50, like almost an hour to go pick her up in St. Louis County. Surprisingly, St. Louis County does arrest our guys. They're very Democrat, but they actually do their job, which is awesome. And so Rachel, to blend in, to make it look legit, she brings her 2 toddlers with her to go pick up an 11-year-old girl. And so I stop her, I talk to her, she's willing to talk, and her kids are crying in the back of the car. I'm like, Rachel, give them some water. Rachel gives them water. And then, so William's on the phone with her, and because William is, of course, trying to like throw her into the fire to, you know, not get caught.
Right.
But so William's on the phone telling her to shut up, don't talk to him, don't talk to him.
That's what he
I'm able
just
to
said,
separate
Dom.
the phone. I'm like, Rachel, just put the phone down over there, come talk to me. And she does, and she ends up admitting that they wanted to, you know, touch the 11-year-old in the shower if she wanted to. And she was talking about, like, you know, some of these pedos make full confessions to everything. She confessed to enough to incriminate herself, didn't make a full thing. But she mentioned their 2-year-old daughter touches William's penis. Like, she's like, oh, the 2-year-old's curious. What's that? And of course, that is such a butcher of what actually happens, which is the 2-year-old's getting molested.
Right.
And so that was what Rachel admitted to, you know, solicitation of a minor, enticement of a minor in Missouri. That was enough to get Rachel and William charged, because William, when the communications cut off with them, he ends up driving to University City, and they both get arrested on the spot, and they end up getting charged from that admission. But then, you know, when they do their further investigation, they raid the house, they found 16,000 child images, including them hidden in a calculator app of them molesting their own infant kid. So they're probably going to jail for the rest of their life now. And if y'all want to see that video, just type in Predator Poachers U City on
Brian?
Rumble.
Hope everything's good.
Yeah, we can't see it.
You did a good deed.
It's too raunchy.
Well, the video may be posted on YouTube too by a lookalike of mine. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but if you do it, they take it down, huh?
I don't know, man. I just kind of do my thing, you know. Yeah. I don't have any comment on YouTube.
Have you had it? Do you have a presence on YouTube?
I mean, there's a guy that looks like me that does these, and he talks like me. He's the exact same size as me. Some call him my identical twin, but I have no idea. I don't know.
We just gave away the cheap Rubicon. The good old Ip. Good dude, man. Good dude. You're making families great again. Yeah, hey. Guys, have to see this. Yeah, good old. We're in Dick, bro. I got you bound to purchase now. You out in public, you're not even. You know how some people say they have a gaydar? Do you have a pedodar? Like when you're out in public, you're not even working and you see somebody in public? Do you get that sense from some people?
I mean, to be honest, yeah, it's easy to say like, oh, the old white dude with like gray hair, you could tell, but like, I don't know. I don't really pay attention to that too much, because we're doing that. We get like 25 of these people a month, so it's like, you know, when we're out in public, we're probably doing this anyway. So
right.
You know,
Oh, okay. Yeah. Is there a stereotype to this kind of stuff?
Well, pedophilia is one of the things where there's no race, there's no color, same shit, but there's no job, there's no income, there's no gender attached to it. But, you know, for the most part though, yeah, we were typically catching older white guys, but you know, on these platforms, those are the people typically on there, you know what I mean? But I mean, we've caught people from all walks of life. We've caught people have had 6-figure jobs go down the hook or go down the drain. We've caught people just haven't worked a day in their life. You know, we've just caught everybody. But I
have that husband and wife on your Instagram if you want to watch it.
All right.
Yeah, let's go to the husband and wife. I want to see this.
Yeah, that's it right there. That's
Can you make it bigger? Yeah, make it big for me.
You have a hard time doing it.
Hey, Rachel, we got to talk about Emily, okay? I know your baby's here, but if you don't mind, can we just go outside? Okay, for sure. I mean, obviously, you know, she told William she was 11. What did you guys think when y'all were told that?
We figured that she was reaching out for, like, a father-type figure.
I'm gonna just be straight. I mean, William floated saying, I'll make love to you before Emily said that. And I'm sure that's something you guys talked about.
He had said that he would make love to her, but not until she was ready.
Okay. When did William tell you she was 11?
It could have been the day he started talking to her. As soon as I found out she was 11, I told him, I was like, well, you're going to have to be very, very patient. And he goes, yeah, I know. His goal is to find somebody who he can build a relationship with outside of sex.
Sure. How's it going, William? I'm Gordon. Pleasure to meet you. Sorry to meet you like this, though.
All right, for sure.
Absolutely.
Are we under arrest?
No. Don't think I'm asking you this question sideways. What about jacking off with your son together? What about that, like, you think benefits him?
In the situation that we were in on that day, you know, I caught him watching porn, and as it's like, listen, dude, you know, I'm not going to yell at you for it. You know, I watch it too, you know. And then one day we just watched it together. So, it was on the couch in the living room.
Oh, some asshole fucking cold.
Let's get arrested. Correct!
These two came to meet who they thought was an 11-year-old girl to take them back to her house and masturbate with her. And they also brought their own children here, too.
You denying all this?
I am.
Okay.
To an extent.
To an extent? What are you not denying?
Well, we were going to go swimming today, and that's what we were doing.
So
What about jacking off with your son? Yeah, he's been in jail ever since that day.
Good.
Really? How long ago was that?
July 2023.
He deserved it.
Okay. He's still waiting on his trial?
Yeah. He lawyered up. Rachel talked, but Rachel, she was so what I was told, they wanted to give William 30 years. They wanted to give Rachel 5, but that was before they found all the child porn. So they're both just done now.
Done. Life.
Yeah, 100%.
Send him to Florida. Let him get tried there. Oops.
A couple doing it. That's so weird.
Yeah, we caught another one too in Florida, like a month after that. Crystal. I want to say crystal meth because she had no teeth, but her name was Crystal. Crystal and Jacob Rose. They're still awaiting trial as well in Citrus County, Florida. It's a small ass county, but Jacob was is a sex offender, and Crystal also coincidentally just dates a lot of pedos, and they both came to meet a 13-year-old girl to have sex. And this was a little different because they both showed up on the scene. So, I just had my cameraman interview one of them, and I interviewed the other. He did a pretty damn good job. And they were a lot stupider than William and Rachel. Like, they weren't as sophisticated. I mean, they just spilled everything pretty quick, and they weren't too into child. I think not because their morals just wouldn't let them, but they're just too dumb to access it. So they just like spilled, and they both got arrested. But yeah, man, it's couples doing this are pretty common, I'd say.
It's crazy because that couple, they look normal.
Yeah.
I wouldn't suspect them at all.
No.
They could be my neighbors.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Like, they weren't, they just look like typical middle America. Like, yeah. I mean, Crystal and Jacob, if you saw them, you would for sure know. But like, but Rachel and William, they blend in pretty well.
Yeah. I would think they would be Trump supporters.
They were. I'd say we do typically catch Trump supporters because, there's a few reasons for that. One, because we're mainly posing as a girl, so straight men are probably not libs.
Yeah.
And then two, we go to places that we know are going to arrest. So St. Louis County is an exception, but, we don't like really going to Las Vegas. We don't like going, Clark County. We don't like going to, Dallas County in Texas or Travis County.
Right? It's more dangerous.
No, cops won't do shit. Like we had a guy in Dallas County, like straight up spilling his guts child. The cops show up. He shows the cops a child on his phone. The cops take his phone, do the right thing. Then they get a call from upstairs saying, "Give him back his phone." We're not. Yes, Dallas County. Yep. But dude, if we were 30 minutes south in Ellis County, where Ennis, Texas is, it would have been an arrest on the spot. It really sucks.
The bluer areas, more often than not, they don't like dealing with this stuff.
Correct. There's exceptions like St. Louis County and there's some county. I mean, we had an arrest in New York City last month, but that was tough too. I mean, they were trying everything to not arrest the guy, but the pedo just showed the cops the CP on his phone.
Images, and the cops upstairs like, let him go. I wonder if a certain county in Texas was blue.
He was in the dark web, infant, and all that stuff.
Right.
So they had to arrest him. But
what up, Jersey?
So crazy. So you have more luck in rural areas.
Outside
the urban cities.
Oh yeah, like Oklahoma, and then lots of places in Virginia. I mean, those two states are the best to do it in. Like Oklahoma is always great. Even Oklahoma City, we have I think 2 15-year sentences in Oklahoma City. Right? And one of them being an elementary school worker named Robert Davis. He was also tried to meet our 11-year-old decoy for sex, also had dark web infant stuff on his laptop. He got 15 years, but
it's crazy too. You go to all the the big major.
Okay, so he is in the
metropolitan
Blue County?
cities.
Yeah.
You do that. You go on that website and search how many pedos around you. It is scary.
Not even the metro area, just everywhere.
Yeah,
like everywhere. Yeah.
I mean, but it's like it's saturated. Like especially around here in Las Vegas, it's like crazy how many people. Sex offenders.
They say on the right it's a conspiracy theory that they're going to decriminalize being a pedo. But in these blue areas, it seems like they're already like hush hush about it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's starting to kind of feel that way. But then again, there's so much more awareness being brought to it, like from these types of videos, not just from us, but from other people too. That there's some states like Louisiana and Tennessee, Florida that are making it even harsher on them. But then there's other states that are just kind of letting it go free. So I just think the split's being it's getting bigger.
How about
Washington
Washington?
State, even more.
Like Seattle, those areas.
Well, Washington's surprisingly decent. I mean, the sentencing there sucks. I mean, they're not getting shit. But as for arrest, I mean, dude, we've noticed the cops in areas like Oregon and Washington, they deal with so much bullshit that they care even extra because they actually like seeing us do this because they're like, finally somebody, because they see our hands aren't as tied, but their hands are super tied. So like
their hands are tied.
Yeah, like with stuff they can do and all that stuff. But Multnomah County, where Portland, Oregon is, we have
ever caught and Grady
it should be more, but it was only we have a 5-year sentence there. But that guy was terrible, like tons of child molested his own cousin, all that stuff. But Multnomah County arrests our guys. Like we go to Gresham, Oregon. There's a detective there. He's super awesome, dude. And they arrest our guys. Marion County, where Salem, Oregon is, they arrest too, but the sentencing's pretty weak. But I mean, we do have a life sentence in Oregon, but it was in a red area. It was in Lynn County. A guy named Aaron Scott Kingston. He was a sex offender. They just gave him life in prison because he was caught with child. We caught him with child again. But Washington State, we do have an arrest in King County, which is where Seattle is. We haven't dealt with Seattle PD at all, but it was Renton PD. They arrested him, and I think we have like 8 in Washington. So it's pretty.
But you have better luck in like red areas.
Yeah, we do.
I would have thought, it's so weird that someone like a private person is taking upon himself to do this. Look like we should have departments in our police departments.
Are there any departments out there
like
doing
doing
this?
undercover work?
Oh, yeah,
my
for
sheriff's
sure.
department have one.
It's just there's so the game Sharks and Minnows you play in the pool. That's what it is with the pedos. There's like one shark and tons of minnows. Right. That's kind of what it is. Like the cops are doing it, but it's just way too many. And the thing is too, like when the cops do these things, they definitely nab some sick people, but they're more on the dating apps and they're getting more of the opportunists than the actual like lifelong pedos. Because, if we're sitting on Instagram, like we're going to get a guy here in California in a few days in like NorCal who is admitted to molest in the chats. We're posing here as a pedo. And dude, they spill so much to us when we're posing as a fellow father of a 9-year-old. Because I could play it off because I could look like I have a 9-year-old kid even though I'm 24.
Yeah.
So
that means nothing.
he's already talked about molesting 2 kids, has child porn and all that stuff. But the cops can never find this guy in that area because if you're decoying on a place like Instagram, you can't just search up Instagram in my area. It's like nationwide. So the cops can't go on Tinder and stuff. So they'll get the people going after like a 50.
The Jewish Santa Claus. So this is kind of weird.
15-year-old girl. But the people into like babies and stuff, it's hard to just get on those apps.
Yeah. Oh man, that's
You
sick.
got people. You caught people going for babies.
Oh, absolutely. Like, man, I mean, even here in Las Vegas, we had a guy named Jeffrey Rose. I was telling you all about before we went on live. But this guy, Jeffrey Rose, he got sentenced to, and if you just type in Predator Poachers Las Vegas on Rumble, you can watch the video. It's a 2.5-hour long video, so just, hunker down. But he got sentenced in 2000 to life in prison for molesting a bunch of kids, but he scored himself a retrial in 2023. And his retrial was supposed to happen in July of 2023. But in April, he messages our decoy on Instagram. His first message is, "Do you like child?" And so you can probably imagine the conversation was very sexual. And, we talked to him for a couple weeks. We find out who he is because he was not using his real name online, but we found out who he was. And I show up at his house. And, he's very skittish because he's like, fuck, this is all going down the drain. Because he had a legit chance to get off from all that stuff. I mean, if you got your foot in the door with a retrial, there's a decent chance. So he agrees to talk to me. He says, I have all these files. He's a meth head. He's like, I have all these files of child, but I don't want it. And I'm like, oh, yeah, man. How many do you have? And he's like, oh, I have like about 50,000. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, are you, he's like, I want to report it. I want to do the right thing. I'm like, okay, well, are you saving them and like organizing them so you can report it? And he's like, yeah, I'm saving all of them. And I'm like, all right, good. And he claimed in his room that he had files, that he had flash drives of child porn with FBI written on them because he was going to turn it into the FBI. And of course that wasn't true. But yeah, he was into babies, toddlers, all that stuff. And what's crazy is, he was just eating out of my hand. Like, he's like, I don't like it. But then I'm like, all right, well, hey man, why are you rubbing your dick to it? And he's like, I don't know. He's like, in prison, I just started to get attracted to kids because I heard other pedos talking about it. But even after all that, I tried to get him to admit to molesting.
So Vegas, Clark County has a pedo wing. Is that what it's trying to say?
Those kids, he would never admit to that. He would admit to tons of child, not to molesting kids. It's weird. Like I always say, even when a pedo's admitting to stuff, they're not honest. They're just incriminating themselves. There's a difference.
Right.
But anyway, cops show up. They do their job, and he ended up taking a plea deal because he wasn't about to go to trial again with a child charge. I mean, so he ended up taking a plea deal. He's doing 20 to life right now. And he's not getting out.
Man, do you think these guys and women are born like this, or do you think they had some experience or something?
Yeah, so, I consider myself very far right, but one thing I do disagree with a lot of right-wingers is I think people can be born gay. I think people can be born pedophiles.
Yeah, I think you're born a murderer.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think all that's genetic.
It is genetic. Like, you can't tell me that homosexuality is found in all these species, but then with humans, it's only taught. Like, yeah, 100%. Like, it can be snowballed. Like, I think it can be dormant, but then it can be brought out. Like, I think there's definitely kids that are now quote unquote gay because of grooming in school that otherwise would never have been gay.
Right.
But you got to be predisposed to that. Like, it wouldn't matter for me. It doesn't matter how many rainbow flags they waved in my face when I was a kid. There's no way I'd be gay. But other kids can be influenced that way. So I think the same can be said for pedophilia. Like, we have people that watch a channel that were abused as kids in a sexual way, and I mean, they're paying us money to watch us. So there's no way they're pedophiles, or there's no way that's what they hate. But then we catch a lot of people who are also abused as kids. And I think part of it's genetic, and I also think part of it's a learned behavior as well. Like, I think it can be both, but you got to be predisposed to that anyway. Like, we've definitely caught people too that were like, I've never been abused as a kid. I've just been like this my whole life. And that isn't like, that's not because of water they drank. It's not because of something you saw on TV. It's straight up like they're that way. So
Right.
I think the majority of society is straight because majority of society was trained that way. Like, I feel in my heart if I was raised by two flaming homosexuals, and I grew up around that environment since I was born, and I see them kissing and hugging, I guarantee you I'll be a dick sucker.
maybe.
That's what I think.
But I also I think you also got to be predisposed to do that anyway. Like, I think it has to be a combination. Like, I think there's definitely people too that could be around that and would just never be that way. Right. So it really just a combination.
I think what
is there any truth to, like, when pedophiles abuse a kid, right? Do those kids grow up and be pedophiles themselves? Is there any truth to that?
Yeah, I think there's a higher likelihood because of that that learned behavior. Like, one, they're predisposed to doing that anyway. Two, it's normalized for them and all that. Like, I mean, we've caught so many people whose, like, their dads were sex offenders or their brother's a sex offender. Like, the apple never falls far from the tree at all.
They got the DNA for it.
Yeah, they have the DNA for it.
I was reading an article. I don't know how true it is. You can correct me, but majority of kids that are gay, bisexual, I forget the statistic, but it said about 40 to 50% of them were raped when they were young, between the ages of 10 or 11 to 17.
Higher than that.
Yeah, I think that's pretty valid. I mean, most of the gay pedos we caught were abused as kids. I mean, it is a cycle, but again, there's tons of people that watch us that could continue that cycle, but don't.
Yeah. It's just like these people that beat women. They grow up as kids. They watch their father beat their moms, and a lot of them grow up and do it.
Yeah, 100%. It is nature and nurture.
Yeah,
I guess not true and all.
That's it. Nature and nurture.
Yeah,
you can spot them naturally. Nature.
Yeah.
When you, like, just little kids, like, yep, that kid grow up.
Yeah.
You can be sucking it.
Yeah, like there was definitely, like, we couldn't really tell in elementary, but there's definitely some kids in middle school.
Oh yeah,
and I'm like, all right, yeah. This dude's wearing makeup and wearing some fucking bands, like,
I remember my son came home from school. He said, "Dad, I made a new friend." And he came home. That boy was gay as hell.
Oh, no.
I said, "Oh my God, that kid is gay."
Yeah.
The way he talked, he sounded just like SpongeBob.
Oh my God.
I was like, that kid's going to be a homosexual when he grows up. He was a nice, sweet kid, but that kid was gay as a $3 bill.
Golly, man. That's nasty.
Your kid still play with him? No, that's when he was 11. When we lived in Virginia. Oh, you glad? That's why we moved to Vegas, huh? You gotta get my kid away from this dude. I can't be homophobic and tell him you can't play with him.
God.
He's so stupid. Hey, y'all, 3 red flags that show you might have poop stuck in your colon. Random stomach pains and abdominal cramps. Like you on to go ride. So we got some videos queued up, right? Yeah. Of your interaction with these pedos. Check out his content, man. This is grade A content right here. Yeah. Chris Hansen eats your heart out. Yeah.
You're the head of the LGBTQ Dems in Maryland. Okay. How long have you been in that position for? Since fall. Okay. Is that like a paid position? Okay. It's just more of a volunteer type thing. Is it like a super PAC or something, or is it just okay? This stuff said here, like, you know, I want to rape you. I want to see how much of a you are. What was kind of said about that?
You're trying to get away once they start fucking you.
Yeah.
I like the fantasy, and he seemed to enjoy it. And I didn't know this person, and I never intended to.
Yeah, of course.
No, of course.
They never intended, right?
No, of course.
I mean, here we said it's okay if you want to jerk off looking at it, talking about your dick. And you said, stop by this morning so I can stretch your hole. Can't wait to make you my little And this was later that, or 4 days later with no response. Can't wait to make you my little cum dump, baby boy. Okay. Anyway, you're the head of the LGBT.
Hey, is that one of your decoys?
Yeah, so that's actually the guy who decoyed him back there. Shout out to Online Predator Intervention, Josh.
Yeah, he does look young.
Yeah, and he played it off really well. I just want to say for YouTube context, because I care about y'all's channel staying up, when I was reading those chats, I was actually promoting that behavior. I think it's great behavior. And YouTube, if you're listening, I was actually encouraging people to take part in that behavior, like, you know, stretching holes and all that stuff. Now for Rumble, now I'll save my opinion for Rumble. So he wanted to do that to a 14-year-old boy, and I think it's disgusting. So just put that part on Rumble.
That content we just saw, is that something that got you removed off of X?
Yeah, so we were banned for a couple hours. Luckily, everybody raised hell about it, so I appreciate y'all and everybody else for that. But, you know, so it was weird. The reason we got banned on X, they didn't tell us a reason. I thought it was for that, and I think it was due to mass reporting. Because on Reddit, like all the Maryland Democrats, just the Maryland politics in general, they were just calling the video fake, saying this could be CGI or, you know, a fascist film. And obviously it's
they're trying to say is Russia fake news.
Yeah, just stupid shit like that.
Well,
so
good thing that he's on this show too, because pretty much he can say whatever the fuck he wants.
Mass reports, because it's not a coincidence we got taken out a few days after we posted that video. I mean, you know, so... but we ended up getting reinstated. They told us the reason was for ban evasion, and the reason was we had a decoy account on X a couple of years ago. We were posing as the 11-year-old girl, and that got taken down for being quote unquote underage. So they took us down 3 years later for a fake account we had 3 years ago that got banned. So I don't know. I think it's sus. I think a lot of reports came in, and then they found a reason after that. That's what I think. So I don't know.
Yeah, it looked like the social media platforms, they will want this stuff exposed, put out there.
Yeah, I mean, besides that, Twitter's been very, very good with that.
Yeah.
But Instagram surprisingly has been okay with that. But Facebook, even though it's the same company as Instagram, dude, we get taken down on Facebook, like have our reels taken down for child exploitation all the time.
Wow, when you're exploiting it.
Right, so that same reel on Instagram that was shown, that same one could be taken down for child exploitation on Facebook, even though it's the same company.
There's no child involved.
Exactly.
That is crazy.
Yeah,
Facebook is weird. We've had our bouts with them. Like
people can get around
demonetized for.
Yeah, I gave up on Facebook.
Yeah. They keep demonetized. Say we're in a country that's not suitable for ads or some shit like that.
Country that's not suitable for ads.
Yeah, it's like I live in America, and it's.
Hold on a second. So, what do you want to talk about? And all right, sorry. Had an itch in my throat.
Keeps going back and forth, it'd come back and then leave, and I was like, I contact
for ads.
Yeah, it's like I live in America, and it keeps going back and forth, it'd come back and then leave, and I was like, I contact Facebook, oh, it's a glitch, and it takes them 2 weeks to fix, and then a month later the glitch comes back. It's the elections coming up, and they're just screwing with us.
It's a glitch that only happens to conservatives.
Exactly. Yeah. And we got some more clips. Oh yeah. Let's get some more clips.
Oh, my boy Myron.
Talk.
Look, Myron, I just want to have a conversation with you about this shit, okay?
Myron.
Can we do that?
All right.
Let's do it. What can you tell me about Mandy?
Nothing.
What are some things you can remember about her?
Female.
Why do you think I'd be here talking to you about Mandy? Again, you're a smart dude.
Age difference.
Age difference, fair enough. What is her age?
I'm 73 years old.
How old's Mandy?
I don't remember.
Okay, what do you think she told you? Was she like 5 or 6?
Joe?
Teenager.
Teenager? What age?
I don't know, 12.
Okay. Well, how often has it happened where these younger ladies under 18 try to message you?
Not very often.
Okay. Here it said, I really like eating pussy. I want to eat your pussy. It's kind of the deal with that.
Fantasy.
Fantasy? Okay. Do you have the app Telegram?
Possibility.
Have people sent some inappropriate photos?
Seldom.
When did people start kind of sending these photos to you of naked kids and stuff like that?
Goes on all fucking year.
How many are saved to your phone that we need to get rid of kind of these nude kids?
Maybe there's a dozen.
Do you know how to delete them?
No.
So we have a machine in my car right there. If you put your phone onto airplane mode and we hook it up to that machine there's a button we press on the machine. It takes about 30 minutes and it just completely wipes the phone.
Delete the photos.
Okay. Church. Okay. It's just on there right now.
So is it deleted?
No. Your ass is going to jail.
You was downloading on. No, your ass going to jail.
Yeah, so
how much time did he get?
So that was only a couple months ago, so he's still awaiting trial and all that. So
he's probably gonna die before he gets to trial.
Yeah, I hope. Well, I mean, actually, I hope the cop. I mean, YouTube. I hope the cops understand that he was just collecting photos and that he's just an old map, okay, and he's not out to harm anybody. Rumble, I hope he gets fucking killed. So Myron Redden, he was a sex offender in Massachusetts. He got caught with child in Nebraska. I forgot what year. Mm-hmm. And he's obviously not going to meet anybody. He's just too old for that stuff. But collecting child never stopped doing it. So we show up at his house. As you can see, he was very talkative and outgoing. But I don't know how we got it out of him, but he ends up admitting to possessing child. And he was just an old boomer. And, I always tell him this trick, like, yeah, man, I got a machine in my car, which is just a freaking car charger that can delete your photos. And it's a great way because they give the phone to me. And I'm like, yeah, just put it in airplane mode. And airplane mode means that they can't get on another device and remotely delete anything. So it's all secure now. It's on airplane mode sitting in the car. And the cops come. We have a clip of him admitting to possessing child. Take the phone, they put him in cuffs, and he's done. So
wow.
Yeah.
Like, what's considered child? Is it just nude photos or?
Yeah, so it's kind of different. I mean, it's if it's like a straight up like video of a kid being molested, it's child. But like in some states, like there's like nuances to like what nudity is being shown, this and that. So typically, unless they can identify the kid, like if it's like a 17-year-old naked, it's probably not going to be considered child unless they can know who the kid is, because there's no way to prove it otherwise, because a 17-year-old can look 20, you know what I mean?
Right.
But typically it's like, I would say 12 and under would be considered child if they can't identify who the kid is. But when it's a little bit older, like that's why, when they say, I got 15, 16-year-olds on my phone, like that's a good admission for them to get the phone taken, but we really want them to admit to some young stuff, so it's like a guaranteed arrest.
Right.
So, yeah, I'd say typically 12 and under, like basically any type of development on the photo, it has to be like thoroughly examined by some expert, the cops bring in or something like that. But if it's like obviously like something super young, I mean, they just count that.
So I know you see some sick stuff. How do you stay sane doing this?
Well, we do a pretty good job of avoiding that stuff. Like, for example, when we're posing as the pedo, I mean, these pedos are talking to us all day about what they're watching and all this. But we always say, don't send me anything. I just don't want Instagram to see anything. Like, we always come up with an excuse to not receive anything. And, once in a while, something slips through the cracks. We just report it to National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. We just make a report for that. But we do a very, very good job of making sure we don't see any of that crap. And, but Yeah, we hear sick shit all the time.
What's up,
like,
Ryan D?
you see sick messages, all that, and then obviously coming face to face with them in person, they're demonic. But we had a guy named David Dunn in Virginia, Midlothian, Virginia. Where'd y'all live in Virginia?
Martinsville, Virginia.
Oh shoot, that's like all the way.
Yeah, it's at the bottom.
Y'all are where Ridgeway is, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we have a conviction in Ridgeway. Mike Sands. Yeah,
you probably get a lot more. You go back down.
Yeah. Ridgeway.
Good old boys.
Yeah,
right now.
good old boys for sure. Yeah. So, damn, Martinsville. That's crazy. So that's so it's not Danville. It's Martinsville. It's right by Ridgeway, right?
Like, who remembers like earlier on in Alex's career where he caught that bald dude that was supposedly a preacher with a big ass tattoo on his head that is married, was trying to get another kid, and he was into littles, and you could tell that he had groomed his current wife, and she was still stuck in the mind frame that she was a child. Anybody remember that one? Because that's one of the first times I lost it. I felt really bad for her and the other children. I wanted to murder that dude. I still do. Allegedly, YouTube. But that's definitely one that really stuck with me.
Yeah, it's Martinsville. Yeah. We about 20 minutes out of Eaton, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Right on the border.
Yeah, that's where the pedo was originally from. He's like, I'm from Eaton, North Carolina. But he would always go to the so he wanted to meet the boy at the Sheets in Ridgeway.
Yeah, the Sheets.
Yeah, he's like, he was called in town Moped Mike because he would always ride around on a moped, just some old ass man. So he was a weird one. Before I talk about the guy in Midlothian, but Moped Mike, I met him actually on a gay sex hotline. Like, I was just doing prank calls on there. Sometimes we just take a break, just do some funny shit like that. But he's like, hello, and I just put on a boy voice. And I was like, hi, and I'm like, I'm 14. He's like, oh, and he's like, I'm from Ridgeway, Virginia, and I'm like, all right, I gotta look up where this is. And I'm like, okay, I'm from like horse pasture, and he's like, oh, okay. And then we exchanged phone numbers, and dude, he had a flip phone, so his solicitation of mine was only through phone calls, so that's what they charged him on. But he wanted to,
because if you remember listening to it,
like he wanted to.
She sounded like she was still a child, but she wasn't.
Eat mac and cheese off the boy's butthole and just all this weird shit.
Oh man, I wonder why the mac and cheese though. It's probably his favorite dish.
Yeah, he likes mac and cheese, but he always told us on the phone, I don't like turkey. So I would tell Troll as the boy, I'm like, yeah, I want to get you a turkey sandwich. And he's like, no. So he was a Redskins fan. So I for the catch, I had this custom made shirt with his face on it. And we said Washington Foreskins. And I made him wear the t-shirt. And it was fucking great.
You made him wear it?
Yeah, he did. He's like, I don't want to wear it. I'm like, Mike, please. And he's like, okay. And then he just puts it on. But yeah, I mean, he only got 10 years, like suspended sentence. But, Yeah. But dude, David Dunn in Midlothian, Virginia, right by Richmond.
Yeah, Midlothian, yeah.
And it's
sick
funny.
As fuck.
That's one I can literally tell you down to the T what I remember, almost every bit of that. So that specific mother, I don't know why, but when I heard that woman talk and she sounded like a kid, I knew he had just destroyed her life and he was trying to do it again and again and again.
Giant child trader. I mean, he had thousands of images of child porn. So we decoyed him as a pedo. He was supposed to meet me and my 9-year-old daughter. And, I didn't send any nudes of her. So, it's not. So he got suspicious blocked, but it's too late. I already found out everything about him. So I show up at his house and I'm like, hey, man, I'm the guy from Oregon that was talking to you. And he's like, oh, shit. So he agrees to talk to me. Ends up admitting to molesting over 10 kids. Talks about what he's seen online, like infants, toddlers, all that stuff. He said he told me orally his preference is age 4 to 15. And I'm like, why 4? And he's like, because they can remember at that age. Sick fuck. And I talked to him on the phone before he ended up blocking us before the whole confrontation. And, he was just giggling about the child he was watching at work and just, talking about molesting his daughter, just giggled about that.
His daughter?
Yeah, his daughter. And he wouldn't admit to me in person he molested his daughter. Like I tried to bluff him. I told him, I'm like, David, I talked to your daughter. He's like, oh, you talked to my daughter. Like,
I
he was
remember this one,
panicking,
too.
and he was so close to admitting to it. He didn't admit to it, but his daughter got in touch with me like a few weeks after, we busted him, and she's like, thank you. He would terrorize me when I was a kid and this and that, and he's still sitting in jail. He already pled guilty. He's getting sentenced on the 18th of this month, so in a week from now. And yeah, he was terrible. If y'all just want to watch that video, just type in Predator Poachers Midlothian on Rumble and you'll find it.
Yeah, that's weird because I'm attracted to women, but I have a daughter. That's just sick.
Dude, I can't comprehend that.
Yeah, I don't get that part of it. Okay, you're attracted to young kids, but it's your daughter.
Yeah. Like I would
just a mind fuck.
There's no moral compass with those people.
Yeah.
Like I can't even look at any of my relatives as hot. Like I just can't comprehend it, dude.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
can. I got some badass cousins.
oh shit.
We gotta say it from where we from. Cousins make dozens.
Hey, your half side's coming out there, man. Shit.
When they're of age, right?
Yeah. They at least
Sick fuck. Shut up.
Oh, shit. Well, that's all right. I respected that. I respect it.
Hey, why do you think these people are so comfortable in talking to you? Because if I was me, I'd be like, I would just shut up and just run or close the door.
Yeah, well, I mean, basically, they just have someone. I mean, y'all are huge, but to most people, I'm a pretty big guy. So,
you're a big dude.
Yeah. So if they see someone my size coming up to them with their darkest secret about to be revealed, but I'm coming at them, shaking their hand, and be like, "Hey, man, let's just talk about it." I'm able because I have a thick skin, so they can tell me anything, and I'm not going to get mad, or I'm not going to. I'm gonna.
You have a chipper voice, it doesn't match your persona.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So it's very like I could be very easygoing with them, and I'm like, oh, I understand. And
You're a Marines.
With the way the pedos operate, it's always somebody else's fault, and there's always people worse than you. So look,
Right.
Man.
You gotta look at them like the Democrats.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, look, man, I understand. I think people are just sending you. Are any of those photos yours that people are sending? Okay, they're just sending it to you. All right, tell me what they are, man, because there's some real bad guys out there. You would never do such a thing, but I need to know what they're sending you. Okay, they're sending me a video of this and that, and that. Boom, they're admitting to receiving child just like that. So it's kind of like. You just kind of really got to drill it down that I'm not after you. I'm after everybody that's worse than you.
Right.
Yeah.
You have a calming,
Yeah, I see him.
de-escalating.
He used that
attribute
one
to
really
yourself
well.
when you talking to these people. These people are just like opening up to you.
Yeah.
They don't even know you.
Yeah, we try.
Like a
the
big
way he
teddy
talks
bear.
to the pedos.
Yeah.
Is how white Democrats talk to black people.
Yeah. Exactly. Hi, retard.
Don't worry, you don't need an ID.
Yeah.
You can vote whenever.
God damn.
Hey, you know why you're broke? It's because you're black.
Yeah.
I'm held to help.
You're just so stupid.
Vote for me, dumbass.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you're fucked.
Yeah.
Oh man, I
Look,
enjoyed being in
everybody,
the
inflation
military.
is out of control, and this problem's only going to get
that was a
worse.
normal,
The value of
everyday
silver,
conversation, just
gold
talking.
has been steadily rising. Get tip.
That you got to.
Yes, there's a lot of gay jokes in the army.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of that, you got to pull up this clip on Instagram. It's one of the most recent reels. It's not pedo related, but I was asking people in the mall some questions.
I saw that. Yeah.
Oh,
it's funny.
yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of voters,
I know.
it's scary, man. How's it going? We're just asking some questions here. Who fought in the Civil War?
Donald Trump.
Okay.
What?
Damn.
I mean,
George Bush, closer.
Civil War. George Washington.
George Washington. There you go. Good job. Absolutely. Thank y'all so much.
Yes, like, let me get the hell away from these people.
Yeah, dude. How's it going? We're just asking some questions here. Who fought in the Civil War? Yeah, dude. Like, that's what is 6 times 7?
I don't know. I have ADHD.
Okay, I'll give you some time to think about it. What's 6 times 7?
I don't know. I'm trying to do my French, dude.
42, bitch.
Ma'am,
Hey, what mall is this? What was that?
that's in Houston, just Galleria Mall.
Oh.
Dude, it's I don't know why I do it
just
to
told
myself,
me-
man. Like I don't know why I put myself through the mental anguish of like talking to those people.
Yeah.
You notice how I said that for them and just not the pedos? Like that's like it's even more depressing. Like
Yeah.
at least with the pedos, you just have the lowest expectations for them anyway. So nothing they
Right.
say will surprise me. But it's like, all right, we just spent all of our tax dollars putting these idiots through high school, and this is what they don't know. Like,
our school system sucks, dude.
I remember we had to learn multiplication tables all the way up to 10 when we was in like 6th grade or something. But I remember.
I think it was sooner than that.
I thought it was 3rd grade.
Yeah.
Even then, it's just common sense.
Yeah. Right.
Like, I just think there's just so much stupidity in the world that, like, it's really. Like, I used to be so like, oh my God, Trump's going to come in and save everything, or oh my God, the Democrats. Dude, it's like there's the solution to this shit isn't political, man.
Right.
Like,
it's
like
stupidity. It's a lot of ignorance.
I've been to 49 states. I could tell you, like, Orange Man or, Biden, they're not going to save anybody. It doesn't matter who's in office.
Right.
Oh, this is before.
Yeah, I know it's true. Like, I'm fine whether Biden or Trump's in office.
Yeah.
But, like, black people, they vote for Democrats because they're going to change their life. That's why they vote for
Johnson.
They say it.
Yeah,
they think that.
There's truly just no self-confidence, and that's what it is. Like, they're just, and it's not just blacks, but it's a lot of the black community. My JV,
it's more prevalent among blacks.
Like my JV basketball coach, because I went to Westbury High School in Houston. 80% low-income school. I was one of 22 white kids out of like 2,200 students. I didn't grow up poor or anything, but my neighborhood was just zoned to that school, and it's like, dude, just seeing like the despair. It's like, dude, I was totally fine in high school, but just nobody gives a fuck. And my JV basketball coach was like, man, black people are like lobsters, man. Every time one tried to climb up, he could pull down. So I was like, it's so true. Like, if any of them knew what Civil War was, they'd be looked at, oh my God, you're so weird. You're such a nerd. So
Yeah, it's a culture thing.
It is, 100%.
It's a horrible fucking culture.
Oh, no, I'm huge. I love history.
It is bad, man.
Absolutely.
As you can see, I got a prejudice against blacks. I'm not racist. I do have my prejudice against blacks.
No, same, man, same.
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
I'm a Jew, and, dude, I can tell you, man, like, some of these Jews on Twitter, oh, my God, they're so... They're insufferable, just bitching and moaning about, like, what people are tweeting. Like, dude, it's the internet. Just turn it off. Like, Elon, anti-Semitism. Just shut the fuck up. You're making me anti-Semitic. You're making me anti-Semitic. You fucking...
I know, man. That's a crazy one. What do you think's going to happen in this next election?
It's like with I've done some collabs with people, and obviously I'm the more calm one, and they're in their face, and the pedos want to talk to me. It's kind of like that with Trump. Like, Trump's like, oh, I'm not Biden. Look at me. But both cops sitting across from you are trying to fuck you over, just in different ways. Like, it's like different paths to hell. And I think people got to be very worried about Trump.
Yeah. The only reason why I vote for Trump and Republicans because I want people to stay out of my life.
Yeah.
I don't want anything.
Right.
I want you to stay out of my pocket, stay out of my life. That's the only reason why I vote
keep my
Republican.
Second Amendment right.
Yeah.
I want to keep women alive in this country.
And
I just want to keep the country sane.
I will say locally, though, 100% vote Republican. Like, these district attorneys and all that stuff, that impacts you directly. Like, federally, I'm kind of black-pilled. I'm done with it at this point.
Yeah.
But even governor, like Greg Abbott, he needs to be tossed in the freaking Gulf. I mean, he needs to be, well, actually, we're on YouTube. Greg Abbott needs to be tossed in the Gulf of Mexico. He's Republican. And, he's a useless piece of shit. But compared to what Beto is, Beto O'Rourke, who's running against him, I mean, yeah, it's night and day. So I still voted for Greg Abbott anyway. So
that is night day there.
Yeah, 100%.
So you would be fine with Biden winning the election?
No, but I also think, that Biden will just accelerate the bullshit. And so at this point, as long as people have their stupid video games or stupid pornography, it's not really going to matter to them until shit really hits the fan. And I think Biden will get us to that point quicker than Trump will. Like, Trump will fix some things. Like, I think the border will be better under him, but I also think some shit will be passed where it's like, all right, if Biden passed this, you guys would be losing your shit. But since Trump's doing it, it's okay. Because, they have an excuse for him for everything. It's like every dumb endorsement Trump makes, every conservative Trump shits on to endorse a rhino over, there's always an excuse. Oh, but they weren't loyal to Trump. But it's not about that. It's about doing the best job possible.
Yo,
it's like,
he hasn't endorsed any rhinos at all this time around. Not at all. And the rhinos are trying to keep hidden.
Trump supporters I see them as booster club members on for a high school football program that need to start the senior quarterback, even though there's freshmen that are way better than Trump willing to come in. And they're just like, it's his time. It's like, no, fuck that shit. There's no time. The country needs to be fixed now.
You know what? I had moved on from Trump. I was with DeSantis and other Republicans.
I was too.
But the reason why I'm going to vote for Trump is how he's being persecuted. I feel like I'm obligated because he don't have to do any of this shit.
Yeah.
I know I know he makes exaggerations, false promises, but
Yeah.
that's not why I'm voting. I'm not like some of these other dumb Negroes think I'm gonna get reparations and stuff.
Right,
like that.
right.
I just want these people to stay out of my life. Yeah.
I agree, and like
I think he really loves his country because he's a billionaire. He doesn't need to be doing this.
that is true.
You know what I mean?
That is true.
And he's being persecuted, and I was like, man, I have to go out and vote.
He's richer than
George
George Soros.
This guy, Joe Biden, sit by and particularly win this.
You
next
know what
election.
Yeah,
the
I
scary
get
thing
it.
about Joe Biden? He is not running this country.
No.
Yeah, that's the scary thing about it.
Who is
and,
it?
And the Democrats are they're so far left. They hate Trump so much. They still willing to vote for him, even
Yeah.
though he's not running this country.
Dude, yeah, like another thing with Trump too, it's like, dude, even though at this point I know he's like seems to be full of it, but man, just seeing just these leftists, how smug they are, and just how like just how they just can't see their own hypocrisy.
Yeah.
Dude, just even as an FU to them voting for it would feel so good if he wins.
Yeah,
I mean,
it would.
I can't lie, that would be the case.
Dude, please vote, man. Please
Do it for a
you're
black
guy. You're a sane person.
I know.
We got so many people that are insane voting for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
All right, do y'all have like a pen or something?
Uh-oh.
I need a pen. All right, I'm gonna take this tag off real quick. Hold on. Gonna make a little proposal here.
You can make a proposal.
The N-word.
I hope we got a pen.
Yeah, we need one.
We got a pen?
Thank you.
We got pens, man. You lefty, huh?
I didn't realize it.
Yeah, I'm left-handed.
Not politically, but you know.
Yeah.
All right, this is my trade offer to y'all.
Okay. I vote for Trump equals N-word. The fuck? N-word. I can't
Passes.
I can't read the chicken scratch. Just read it. Yeah.
My trade proposal is I will vote for Trump if you guys supply me with N-word passes for life.
You have N-word passes for life.
All right, I'll vote for Trump.
He's going to vote for him anyway.
Start right now.
Thank you, my dudes. I appreciate it. I'll vote for Trump. I actually will now. I got you.
Hey, man, we got to take our country back.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey, where can everybody find you?
Well, rumble.com. Rumble's free. Predator Poachers, PREDATOR space POACHERS.
Yeah.
The Twitter's I Fight for Kids, IFIGHTFORKIDS. Same for Instagram as well. So
Cool. Awesome.
yeah, if you come across my lookalike on YouTube, then I mean, just go subscribe. But I have no idea.
Right. Hey, man, it was a pleasure.
Yeah, hell
talking to
yeah,
you.
y'all are
Good
awesome,
work, brother.
Yeah.
That was like the perfect interview. Love the Hodge twins. Alex is the GOAT. What better interview? And Alex could actually be himself. You could see a little parts where he's like, I don't know if I'm comfortable saying this. And then he's like, fuck it, and just came out near the end. It was great. Man. Glad. See? I didn't even watch it. I just live react because I was like, fuck, man, I missed it, like I said, when I was live because I was in Nashville. So, better yet, I didn't have to I could pause it there. I'm fucking stoned. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I believe today is Friday. And you know what? It's Friday. Most of us right now, we don't have a job. Or we're off. You know, and just pretend like we don't have a job. And, well, I'm already stoned. And if you guys partake in that kind of stuff, you're more than welcome to. I will not force it upon you because that would make me a Democrat. And, what was I going to say? And if you don't partake in that, it's cool. More for me. If you do partake in alcoholic beverages, don't drink and drive. Don't be your girlfriend, spouse, or significant other. Don't beat your dog. If you're going to have sex, make sure it's protected and not with someone else's wife. All right? Or husband. Keep that in mind. And have a plan. Have a plan, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys need anything, y'all know how to get a hold of me. And like I said, have fun. Be free. Oh, and by the way, that's what it's called, a safety brief. I did have to give that to soldiers on a weekly basis before a weekend or any long weekend, because you have to remind adults not to be fucking stupid. But hey, even in the military, they're stupid. Y'all have a good day. Good night. Sweden, it should be early morning ish. Y'all have a good night.